Good morning and happy New Year's for you guys. All right, so we got a lot to cover in this video, so make sure to watch it all the way to the end because there's so many different reports, a lot of information to give to you guys. And on top of that, there were some questions that came in on our copier service, so I'm going to make sure to address those questions, make sure everybody feels warm and fuzzy and understand exactly how it works and so forth. Plus, we got the news that's coming up for this up and coming week. You really do want to pay attention to that because this is now going to be the official brand new trading week for the week. So news and stuff like that too. Okay, but let's go over the report. Many of you guys go to our website, superezforex.com. And when you go here, click on join the signals group, you'll see there's a tab that says click here to see our signals results. So this is a question that did come in. Hey, how do you guys track it? And so for the copier service, sorry, let me go to the right tab. For the copier service, I did simply add just a simple tab just so you guys can see each week exactly what we did specifically for the copycat trader service. Okay, so this report is still the same in the regular signals group where Dr. Elvis did 7 wins, no losses, and no break-evens. And there was no class this week for the live sessions with Miss Jenny. It will pick up this week. So on this section here on next Sunday, there will be some numbers there to show how many trades they took in the live session, but it was closed this week because of the new year. But in the copycat service, you'll begin to see under this magenta category, see that, or purple, whatever color you want to call it, we'll simply list our wins and losses right there. So you'll see last week for our very first week with the copier service, we had 9 wins and only 1 losses. Now, there's actually supposed to be 11. But the problem is that 2 of the trades are still open and running, so we can't consider them winners yet, even though they are in profit and they were sent out by Miss Jenny. So technically we were 11 and 1. 11 wins and 1 losses. But again, because the trade has not closed out, those 2 trades have not closed out, I don't want to add them to this number. We'll add them to the second week's number once they close out one way or the other. Okay, so again, it was a very profitable week for our copycat trader family. But I'm just giving you guys transparency of reporting so you'll know exactly where to go every week to check the report to see exactly what we've been doing week after week after week. Okay, so as you can see, for the opening week of 2024, we are very profitable as we normally were, like 2023 where we broke records. So anyway, that's that. All right. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email to superezforex@gmail.com and one of us will get back to you on that. But this is the way it is. Pretty simple. Okay. Now let's get to the next thing so you know, well, if you do want to join either one of these services, how do you do that? And then I'm going to get into the news for the up and coming week. Oh, and I do got to get to the questions. Let me do that first. So a lot of people were asking with the copycat service, and let me get these questions out the way first. Sorry, you guys, I got to get through all of these different things. That's why I said hang tight, and I will get to the news because you do want to know what news is coming up this week. There are some important events that you do want to know about, so don't just click out, okay? So just hold tight. So one of the questions was, hey, Uncle P, if I leave my computer off and then decide to turn it on later, how does that work? I have mentioned this to several people. It's equivalent to you asking me, hey, Uncle P, I want to receive text messages and phone calls, but I'm going to have my phone off for 24 hours. Okay, you can have your phone off, but you're not going to get any text messages and you're not going to get any phone calls. It's not that they weren't sent to you. It's just that your phone device, since it was off, was not going to receive anything. Okay, so again, as it says on the website, very simple. Please leave your computer on. If your computer is off, you won't get anything. As simple as that. Okay, unless you got a magic device to where, you know, it still functions even though it's powered off. As with anything else, if it's powered off, it won't work. Okay, simple as that. Okay, now there was a secondary question from another person, which was a good one. Okay, and I like that one. It was said, well, what if there's a power outage for 20 minutes? Okay, and that could happen. That's a different story. Your computer was on, there was a power outage. Power outage lasted for 20 minutes. You click your computer back on. Will the trades be running? Well, they should. I can only say should. Okay, so the moment you turn your computer back on, and the copier picks up the information, it should readjust to close out trades or or whatever that we've done on our trader end. I can't guarantee that because, again, we only can be responsible for what we are doing on our end. What you're doing on your end, we don't know and can't say because there's so many different devices, so many different internet connections and so forth, VPSs and all these different things that goes between when we send out a signal to your computer device. So that's the reason why I can't guarantee anything on your end, because I don't know you and I don't know what computer you're using. I don't know what VPS you may be. I don't know any of these things. Which, by the way, if I'm saying VPN, which masks your location. But speaking of VPs, here's what I suggest you do. If that is a big concern, you're in one of these areas where there's typical blackouts, or like in Cali, they have rolling blackouts sometimes, or you're in an area where there's floods, where you lose power every flip of the rain or whatever, any of those things, what I would strongly suggest is that you get a cloud computer. They call it a VPS, which is what we have our trade copiers on. It's not at any one of our personal locations. Okay. It's on the VPS so that it's in the cloud, which means that whether I have a power outage here where I live or Dr. Elvis and Miss Jenny, it doesn't even matter, because when we do actually go to place our trades, we log into the cloud computer, which can be done from anywhere in the world. And then we go on there and basically take the trades on there so that our personal situations does not impact you guys' trades. Does that make sense? So you can do the same, and they're very, very, very cheap. And I can't make a recommendation on any because, again, I don't recommend companies, but there's a lot of them out there, and they're relatively cheap to rent for a month. And basically, it's just a cloud computer. Okay. Which, by the way, this is a side note, I'm not a big fan of Mac and Apple computers because they're so restrictive. So a lot of times people want to say, well, what's my alternative? Well, go ahead and rent you a cloud computer. It comes with a Windows-based computer anyway, and you can do everything normal. Okay, so you can still have your cute little Apple tablet. I know my son going to go off because he loves Apple. But you can have your cute little Apple product. Okay, you can have your cute little Apple. Okay, but you can still have a regular computer to work with. Okay, that's just me. But I'll leave that alone because somebody's going to get mad. So hopefully that helps to answer the question on that. But again, once you have it set up, it's completely 100% hands off. We take trades. It translates onto your computer, and, that's that. And by the way, if you have any questions on that, I actually recorded a live video right here on the website, which is superezcopycat.com. superezcopycat.com. And what you want to do is just play this live video. Once you play the live video, I actually recorded it because I thought, okay, I know people are going to have questions. How does this work? So once you play the live video right here, it'll actually literally show you a trade being placed and closed out from the provider end to your copycat receiver end. These are two separate screens. So you'll see I placed the trade here, and then you see it popped up over here on your computer. Then when I closed it here, it closed it there. So you'll see exactly, and this video is only about a minute or two, but you'll see exactly how it works. Very, very simple, very, very easy. You do not have to be there. So now you can actually use this as a secondary way to possibly generate some secondary income while you're at work, and you no longer have to even stare at charts or any of that crap no more. We'll do the work for you. Okay. All right. So just go to superezcopycat.com, or you can go to our superezforex.com. You can click on this tab, or if you click on the Join the Signals group, you'll see there's a tab right here for you to click on. Again, if you want to see our weekly results, it's right here. Now, if you want to join our regular Signals group, where we're still on fire, just doing some amazing things, you want to click right here to join the regular Signals group, and that's where we send the signals out, and you can manually take them at your leisure. And it comes with the 2 live sessions per week with Miss Jenny. So that comes with that, along with other bonus trading systems and indicators and stuff like that, which more of those are coming in the near future as well. And it's going to be included in the membership. More trading systems and stuff like that. They're going to be included. Okay. Now, with all that being said, and again, if you have any questions on that, please just send us an email to superezcopycat.com, superezforex, superezcopycat.com. Okay. And let me see the inflation report for Thursday. I forgot to add that on here. Let me see the inflation report. Number, what time? Thursday, I think 8:30 it is. Okay, 8:30. I'll put 8:30 here. All right, and there we go. Oops. Okay, now let's get into the last but not least important thing. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, so basically, here's the news that's coming up for this week that I'm personally going to be paying attention to. You guys do what you want to do. That's up to you. But for me, here's the news events I'm going to be paying attention to. So on the Swiss, which, by the way, I told you guys it's the sneaky pair, okay, because they come up with sometimes they won't even announce they have news events and then just shoot all over the place, right? So be careful of the Swiss, but they do have some reports coming out this week on the CPI, and CPI is customer price inflation. That's what I call it. Okay, the CPI, Consumer Price Index, is what it really is called, but I call it the customer price inflation numbers. Okay, what you paying in higher prices. So that number is coming out on Monday at 2:30 a.m. Then you have the unemployment rate coming out at 145. Okay, so just be careful if you're trading the Swiss. On Tuesday, you have AUD coming out with the customer price index or customer inflation numbers. What are you paying in higher numbers? That's what I call it. On Tuesday at 7:30. Okay, and then you also have the trade balance coming out on Wednesday for the AUD at 7:30. You have inflation report. This inflation report is going to be very, very important. Okay, inflation numbers right here that you can see. I say, hey, be very careful if you're going to trade it during that report, depending on what they talk about, because it can shoot and be like fireworks. Okay, just like NFP was on this past Friday. Okay, so that's coming out on 8:30 on Thursday. Then you have Europe coming out with their customer price number on 2:45 on Friday. And then you have the week finished up with this PPI. Now, PPI stands for Producer Price Index. That's what it stands for, Producer Price Index. So basically, what are corporations' inflation or, production numbers looking like? Okay, so that's what that is. Comes out on Friday at 8:30. So that's the week. Not a lot of major news, but this main one, I'm going to tell you the one that I'm concerned about right here. Out of all of them, it's right here. Inflation report. I don't want to fool around with that. I don't know what they're going to say. It could be good, could be bad, but what happens with the inflation report, the inflation numbers, this kind of drives interest rates. So it kind of tells the feds, hey, if the inflation numbers are too big, they raise the interest rates. If the inflation numbers are better, sometimes they drop interest rates. So they were toying with the idea, according to a report I heard, they were toying with the idea of either leaving the interest rates alone or lowering them down. Well, part of how they're going to make that determination, in my opinion, is they're going to look at this inflation report number. And based on this, that'll impact that. So you see why one goes in hand in hand with the other. And that's why this is going to be, out of all the news events this week, this is going to be the bombshell one that's going to catch my attention the most. All right. Alrighty, guys. I will see you in the next video. And again, if you want to join us, please go to, and by the way, Ocean Wave was a beast last week. Oh, God, that thing. If y'all didn't see my video, watch the one from yesterday where I do a weekly review. Ocean Wave was just absolute beast mode. Almost perfect all last week. So if you want to get the Ocean Wave system, it's right here. If you want to join the copycat service, it's right here. And if you want to join our signals group, it's right here. You can go to superezforex.com and you can click on any of these tabs. All of it's right there. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to go chill for the week, for the weekend and get ready for this trading week. Peace.